All right, everybody, welcome to Metal Truthers. This is Wraith. I'm here with Brandon, and we've got Brittany in with us as well. She's the female host that everybody's been wanting, so that we don't have to constantly mansplain things to people. And, you know, so we've got this. We're going to be going over the shootings. There were actually multiple shootings the other day with Vegas. There was one that got overlooked. Forgot. I'm about to look it up because I don't know all the details on that one. I think it was in either Kentucky or Oklahoma or some shit. One of those. And then we're gonna look in
There
Las
was
Vegas.
also one in Vegas, Brandon found the same day of the Las Vegas shooting, but it was inside of the casino.
Okay, see, and yeah, I haven't even heard anything about that. And I think we're also gonna talk about there's some people out there, I mean, yes, we'll say that if this guy really was converted by ISIS, but it was obviously more than one person. But if we're gonna go by the narrative that it's only one person, but I even asked my dad, I was like, how likely is it that you're gonna find a redneck that converts to ISIS? I mean, just
very unlikely.
I mean, let's just be honest here. Rednecks are all about drinking beer and fucking their sisters and stuff. They don't have time for ISIS.
Really, Mitch? Really?
Okay, cousins. My bad.
That's not even better.
Not cool.
Oh. All right, so we're gonna look up Las Vegas first here. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, so we're gonna look up the shooting, and I think we might actually look up the shooter himself. But I mean, I don't believe that this was do y'all want to check CNN?
I don't really
see what they have to
I
say
don't
about
like
it.
CNN.
Nobody liked CNN, but did. All right, hey, let's check the Washington Post. They were pretty decent on that one article, Brandon. So, all right,
Yeah.
So with 58 killed and more than 500 injured, October 1st, Las Vegas shooting was the deadliest in modern American history. Well, I guess so, except for, I mean, that, I don't know, because that one guy, back in, what was it, the 80s? But the guy from the tower, the guy in Texas that killed all the people from the tower, the Marine that went crazy. And,
yeah, but they're saying because of so many injured on top of the people that died, because the people that are injured keep dying due to their injuries.
Okay.
So
well,
the last time I checked, the death toll was 59.
Okay, well this was posted I don't even know. It's on the Washington Post, so 9:40 p.m. Pacific time, Jason Aldean, a country singer, began his performance at the Route 91 Harvest and annual Las Vegas music festival. There were more than 22,000 people in attendance. Well, see, that's another thing, too. The mainstream can't say definitively that there was only one shooter. When there's 22,000 people there, you might not even see half the shots coming from the ground when everybody's focusing their camera up on the windows,
Yeah. But you also got to think, the concert area does have security that has to go through medical detectors. So people getting guns into that area is very, very slim.
Well, those guys could have been on, the outside of it, though, the security could have been, right there in the outside. I mean, those were heavy caliber firearms. I mean, look at the distance. They're saying this guy fired from the 32nd floor right there. There were also people saying there were shots coming from around this area. And then, you see how easy it would have been for, there to be some other shooters right around here where there's 22,000 people?
Yeah, and like I told Brandon, the trajectory from the 32nd floor to where the concert was being held, there's no way, at least in my point of view, that a bullet could make it that far due to the trajectory of
the bullet could make it that far.
dropping.
Yeah, no, totally, it can make it that far. But I mean, it's just a matter of the accuracy. That's why there weren't more people killed. If in all reality, I mean, there could have
Hey,
been a lot of fire coming from up there. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
oh,
that would explain why there were so many injuries. But there could have been people on the ground, which is what it sounded like to me. You know.
hey,
And see, this is what like weird. They show this one window here, but like there were clearly like multiple windows busted out on the news, like when it was going live.
Yeah.
And like down here, there were windows busted out. Like, I mean, okay, well now they're saying there's two broken windows on this detailed map, but like I said, there's something about this whole story that doesn't add up to me. And I don't believe it was a lone wolf at all. And then there's people talking about a woman that came up to people before like the shooting started at the beginning of the concert, before the music had started, and was telling people you're all gonna die tonight. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't believe he acted alone. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't make sense. And the way people reacted was pretty fucking bad, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I understand it's crowd mentality. Everybody needs to get out of the way, but a lot of people just laid down, and I guess they hoped that they weren't going to get shot. And when your
Well,
life's on the line,
I talked to Brandon about that a little bit because he was saying the same thing. And to me, first instinct when gunshots are going is for you to drop because
well,
you're going to get
um,
trampled. If you were at the front of the concert, yes, drop. But the people towards the back, they needed to run because the people in the middle, if they're going to jump, run or drop are two different things. If you're at the back of the concert, you're going to get trampled. But like I told
well,
him, if
no,
I was
because
up front,
everybody was running towards the north end, so like pretty much the people in the front were the ones that were going to get trampled. If technically, I mean, unless you're referring to like the stage, but it all just depends on what you're considering, the front in that aspect, because I mean, which gate did they all decide to run for? That all plays a big part. And then, I mean, of course, people get trampled. That's really where a lot of the injuries come from in these situations.
oh yeah,
Um,
that
but
and
my
people
issue
trying to
is
jump the
like, I
fence.
mean, I've watched so many different clips now, and I've listened to it, and I mean, you can clearly hear multiple firearms going off. I mean, some people are trying to say it's the echo because of how far away he was, and I'm like, well, then how did it get louder at one point?
Yeah.
Like, after he reloaded, why all of a sudden did it get like super, like just insanely loud on the net? A few seconds later. And like I said, there were like I'm just gonna look up like the shootings in the last week. Like, I mean, there's been, and it's all, and another thing that strikes me is all these shootings have happened, you know, and like right as this legislation was, supposed to pass.
hey, you're gonna have to start screen sharing from yours instead of Metal Truthers. I'm watching the YouTube feed right now, and it's just showing a big picture of you.
I'm is now I'm watching it, babe, and is it a YouTube video?
Yeah.
Oh.
Huh. Well, hold up. Let me see. All right, is that better?
What the hell?
How's that?
What did I just do?
Is that better?
Okay, we've got to figure out a way to keep it from switching back and forth when each of us talks. Like whenever I talk, it'll pull up mine.
It
Okay,
automatically
there
does
we
that.
go. Keep it right there.
It automatically does that no matter what. But I mean, this shit is beyond crazy at this point in time. Like, I've never seen this this many shootings in just a matter of days. Like, there was somewhere, like, I think it was either Mississippi or Memphis. There was like a kid shot over food, an argument over food just
Really?
yesterday. Yeah, it
There
was
was a
fucking
man who
terrible.
stabbed his son over a donut. I remember
Was his
seeing that
name
one
Homer?
earlier. Did what?
Was his name Homer?
What's his name? Homer.
All right, well, let's look up the Las Vegas shooter and see what we can, like, find out about this cocksucker
Yeah,
as far as what they're
there's a
saying.
lot not adding up about this whole thing. Like especially the official story or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, I mean, even the dude, like, the guy that, like, they're pinning it all on, even his family is, everybody's like, I do not fucking understand, like, no, this isn't him.
Well, I mean, first of all, he was staying in a nursing home. Why the fuck was he in a hotel?
Yeah. And how did he get all those
Supposedly,
weapons and ammunition up there without anybody noticing in like the most highly surveilled place in like probably the entire fucking world, but at least in America
they
for
don't
sure.
sit there and check your bags when you come into a hotel. That is against the
No,
law.
in
That's
Vegas they
violation of
do. No,
privacy.
Vegas, they have their own laws in Vegas. Those hotels do search because you got to think when you're coming in there, they don't want you bringing in drugs. They don't want you bringing in outside liquor. Vegas is all about its money. Like they have the rights to
Yeah.
search your bags. And as old as that guy was, all those weapons and ammunition, like there's no way that
It's
old
heavy as
decrepit ass
hell.
man could have like carried that bag by himself without looking suspicious as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I
there
mean,
was
that was,
over
we're talking
400
about at least
pounds of
200 pounds
just
of guns and
ammo.
ammo from what they're describing
And
that he had.
supposedly they found bombs. At first they were saying he only had one other house. It was 80 miles from where the shooting took place. And then they said that he had another house at the northern border of Nevada. And they went
Yeah.
in and searched that area and found bombs, more ammunition, more guns, and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the whole thing is like beyond, I mean, just yeah, like this is the guy that I guess they're saying
Yes.
it was. That's not him. That's not the guy that did all that. I promise you. He just doesn't. This motherfucker, does he look like he could have committed a mass shooting to you? Look at this guy's face
No.
and ask me if you think he can
The dude's
lug
64 years old.
200 pounds of fucking weapons and ammunition when he's in fucking assisted living. And what do you think? You think that man could have
I
lugged
think
that
it's
shit up to the
bullshit.
32nd floor?
Well, they have valets,
If a valet had touched that guy's bags, they would have
He wouldn't have known.
He would have
instantaneously.
got,
When you're lifting
yeah.
something 200 pounds, do you know how like secure Vegas casinos are? You know how many mobsters, pimps, hoes, all kinds of shit are walking in and out of there? Like Vegas has to be tough on its people. Like in states like ours and like Mississippi and like maybe Alabama, play other places with casinos, they have laxer laws. And those hotels, they're allowed to run their shit however the fuck they want. They're actually all under their own jurisdiction. That's why there's that common saying: "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." Vegas and count cards, you'll never be heard from again. You know, I mean, these people have so much surveillance. They know, like, before you even walk to the door of the hotel, they've seen you. By the time you walk into the hotel, they see you from the time that you get like through the door all the way to your room. And then possibly with this day and age, I'd be willing to bet they've got cameras in the rooms. That's how they catch all these it seems strange that there's always leaked celebrity like footage from when they're in these you know fancy resort hotel vacations. All of a sudden there's a leaked sex video or leaked nude pictures of them, and they're like, who the fuck even took this? Well,
Yeah.
we live in a surveillance state. I mean, to think that if anyone thinks that like Vegas doesn't search your shit, like, I mean, that like a valet, I'm telling you, if a valet had picked up that bag to help that guy, you would have instantaneously like known something was off. It would have been obvious, and they would have checked his bags. I mean, how often does somebody bring 200 pounds of something metal and clanking? You know, like, I mean, it's not like he wrapped all that shit.
No.
And then, like, the way that when they show you the room where all the weapons were and stuff, it just doesn't make any sense because, like, the weapons look like they were just set up there. Like, it all looks too fashionable. You know what I mean? Like, it almost looks like they were set up for display, not for a fucking mass shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all set up in, like, other rooms where he couldn't easily grab them from where he was posted up. Like, I just don't fucking... Everything's not adding up.
Oh yeah, get this. They also said that he disabled the fire alarms and the burglary alarms in the hotel.
Well, I'm actually, like, most of the articles I'm seeing are people just exploiting this, so I'm going to stop this screen share for the moment. Till more information comes out, I think I might actually, like, in the next couple of days, look into setting up tour, and then I can, like, go, you know, and start bringing up, like, the shit people are putting on Reddit that they're going to keep away from the public, because, I mean, it just, there's too much shit that's not adding up with this. I want to hear more from the people that were on the ground, you know. I mean, Brandon, what are your take? I mean, you've been paying attention as well. Like I've been working the past couple of days, so I've been having to catch up on all the breaking news as it comes out, and it's just like I said, there's so much shit. Like you saw those videos I sent you the other day, right? Like there's just so much shit not adding up from people like law enforcement that talk to people that, you know, it's just. Man, and it's definitely a tragedy. Like, one thing I hate is there's a lot of people saying it's a false flag, as in no one fucking died. It's all crisis actors. I'm sorry, but there's no fucking way you can pay. Who the fuck can afford to pay 22,000 crisis actors? I mean, like, let's be serious.
I don't think I think there was crisis actors in the mix, but I'm definitely going to say that they were not all crisis actors. But I did
No,
see a
I don't
picture
even
of
think there were crisis actors in the mix, to be honest, dude. I mean, I've watched some of the reality, dude. It's not very often you see grown men fucking breaking down, crying, and you know, some of these people were battle-hardened veterans. Like there were veterans in that crowd, and they have spoken out about it, and you know, they were having flashbacks to war zones. I mean, this was a targeted strike, that's for goddamn sure. But I mean, who the fuck knows? Was it the deep state? Was it ISIS? Was it Antifa? I highly doubt it was Antifa. They're not smart enough. They don't do this. They do, you know, protests in the middle of a highway and wonder why they get run over.
I mean, Antifa did kind of, sort of, claim credit for it, but
Alex Jones is giving them all the fucking credit in the world.
Well, I mean, the guy converted to Islam like 2 months ago.
That's another thing I have a problem with the guy that they're showing. Like, unless he's been brainwashed, the only way that this guy could have been the main shooter, in my opinion, because this guy has he never liked guns, he has no training. I mean, unless he was brainwashed, then, like, the only other thing is this guy has a mental deficiency, and somehow somebody on the radical left here in this country, which there are a lot of these dumb motherfuckers, managed to fucking say the wrong word, and it triggered this fucking crazy ass old guy in assisted living, and next thing you know, somehow this old guy but then again, he had to have had help. Somebody had to help him get those weapons in there and shit. Like, that's the only way. He was being controlled. That's the only way it was the guy that we've been seeing. That's my take on it, and I'm sticking to it.
Hmm.
I mean, what do you think, Brandon? I mean, that's the only logical angle I can take out of it. Like with this guy, I mean, there were obviously more people involved. There were more weapons than just one at a time involved. But the thing that really like gets me is like, if it was that guy, then he was either mentally fucked up and somebody like triggered his old ass, or you know, somehow, some way, he was brainwashed. I mean,
Hey, babe, I'm about to send you 3 pictures on Facebook. I want you to send them to Mitch.
All right.
I think you might be able to
Just
share them in
wait
here.
to open them.
Yeah, you can
Because
put links and shit in the chat here.
It's something that I found on Facebook. I was just scrolling through newsfeed and it came up, but there's quite a few good points. Oh crap.
Well, while you get those shared or whatever, I do want to like say one other thing that's been really fucking bothering me about this, and I know y'all have probably seen it. There's fucking assholes out there saying like, you know, now white people know how it feels when the like unarmed black people have been killed, and that white people deserve this, and that like, you know, there's a time and a place to fucking troll, all right, and then there's a time and a place to not be a fucking cunt, and this is one of those times and places to not be a fucking cunt.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely. Something. I'm actually glad you sent me this picture. Something that I noticed earlier. I was looking at Facebook, checking it out.
See if you can screen share the picture from your end, Brandon.
Do what?
See if you can screen share that picture from your end.
I tried to send you another one, but for some reason it will not send. Did you get it that time?
Hold up.
No, I know what I did wrong. Damn it.
It's a goddamn gremlins.
I forgot I didn't hit. I saved the photo to my freaking device instead of sending it to him 3 times.
Hey, Brandon, if you do a screen share, you have to screen share and then say click present to everyone. That was the fucking problem we had earlier.
Oh.
Okay, I think I shared them all to you now.
Alright. I'm just going to send them to you, Mitch, since you're the one that's kind of in charge of the screen share thing.
Fucking son of a bitch. These go to my phone. Like, I don't have Facebook open on here. Now I got to go to Facebook. And that's going to put your name back on screen again.
I don't even care at this point.
Okay, good. Because last time you got all like, hey, my face on the screen. Where? Oh, he knows. I pick on him, dude. I don't give a fuck. I fat shame him and all kinds of stuff.
He's perfect to me, so that's all that matters.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, I just, you know, when somebody's fat, you got to let them know that they're fat. All right, let's see how this works out.
But yeah, notice the 13 tattooed on his neck when you open them.
All right.
But then I sent another picture to you that was also but in the crime photos, there's not a 13 on his neck. But in that picture, you see the 13.
Oh, yeah, it's almost like a brand or something, unless that's like his fucked up like Adam's apple.
But look on the picture.
That could be
right beside.
Yeah, like that's a straight, like, you know, smooth neck. But then again, he looks like in this picture he may be slightly folded forward, and he's got like that old people like vagina neck thing going down. Yeah. Let's see.
I don't know. That's totally a 13.
Yes.
All right. Here's the other one that's up here now.
Read the description. This, right? Yes. Or I'm on Hangouts. I'm not on the YouTube.
Looks like a pin note on the table where the hundreds of shells. Where are the 10 plus magazines? Where did the stock get on top of his leg if he was shot himself in the head? Or how did? Sorry, my bad. I have the photo of his face, but will not be posting it on here. I mean, yeah, a lot of this doesn't add up.
No,
Yeah, I mean, if he
not at
committed
all.
suicide, the odds of that gun landing perfectly on its tripod over his left foot is damn near impossible.
All right.
And still, there's no
And look, like, yeah, that's another thing that I've been pointing out for a long time. Like, why are all the weapons, like, far away from his windows? Like, why isn't he,
got
you
them
know?
set up and ready.
And how is it that the fucking media is in there to take pictures already and stuff when, like, like, the same thing happened with the, was it Dylan Roof? What, or who was, or no, the Sandy Hook fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they allowed the media to fucking run in there, like, and, um, they fucking like looked and like were fucking with the dude's house and like, oh look, we found his journal and we found his wank off rag. Everybody check this out. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all can't do that.
Exactly. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
and
the
then
thing of it is, if a police
Brandon,
investigation is still going on, the media cannot expose those photos until after they're done with the investigation itself. But yet, they're posting the photos all over media of the crime scene.
yeah, and then also, but like, and it's funny because this is also going on at a point in time where like there's something that Russia's kind of pissed off at us about something that happened in San Francisco.
What's going on there?
Well, fuck if I know. Let me see if I can pull something up about it. I know Russia's pissed at us.
What the hell?
Russia, San Francisco. That's the easiest way to pull this shit up. Okay. U.S. denies breaking into Russian diplomatic apartments in San Francisco. All right, let's read what this happens to be about. Looks like it's the U.S. tried to pull some bullshit. Let me get the screen share back up.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Woo! Fucking that screen, dude. Fucking shit trips me out every time it happens. All right, so U.S. denies breaking into Russian diplomatic apartments in San Francisco. The U.S. State Department denied Russian assertions on Tuesday that U.S. officials had broken into residences at the Russian consulate in San Francisco, saying security officers had merely checked to ensure the building had been vacated by a required deadline.
Wait,
State
what?
Department spoke. Which part to what? Which part to what, sir? You can't just go, wait, what? And then like you have to assert something there. I just read I read a whole fucking sentence, dude. Which part of the sentence were you asking what to?
Why the hell is there security officers going into the Russian consulate? Like, what business do they have there if nothing's going on?
It just says because they were making sure that the building had been vacated by the required deadline. Remember how we said Russia had to get their people the fuck out of here at some point, like last year or something?
Yeah.
But here, hold up. Let me finish reading, sir. State Department spokeswoman Heather Naruto. Heather Naruto. That's the closest we're gonna get here. Said the United States has given Russian families living at the consulate an extended deadline of October 1st to vacate the residences. The move was part of an ongoing spat between the two countries. You know, like it's just some lover shit that's going on. Stop it, Russia.
By the way,
You take your people and get them the fuck out of here. America's not having that. That's what's going on right now. So, Narod said State Department diplomatic security and representatives from the Foreign Missions Office then entered the area to just walk through, look around. The purpose to make sure that the people are no longer living there. Reported by Jonathan Landay, writing by David Alexander, editing by Washington Newsroom. All right, so that didn't really tell me much shit other than the U.S. went around and was like, hey, we gonna fuck with y'all shit. Get used to it. Y'all are supposed to be out here. We're coming to evict you right now. Get the fuck out. That's basically what happened. In a
We will
nutshell.
evict you with fire.
Yeah, we will
Isn't that how
drop
it always
freedom
goes,
upon
though?
you if you don't. Y'all keep fucking around. Y'all gonna get about 3 tons of freedom.
I wonder if the security officers like kick down the door and is like, "You're responsible for Donald Trump."
I'm pretty fucking sure they have like security key cards or something like those. Are probably some like like those new age fancy ass locks where people don't need keys anymore. Yeah, that future technology that's every fucking where nowadays.
Fucking
And slide your
Jetsons
credit
bullshit.
card through if you want to enter your room.
Oh, okay. Here.
Every time you
Let me
shut your
just go ahead
door,
and
it's
pay
like
for
a
that.
$5 fee. Like every time you fucking leave the room, they make you slide your credit card to get back in. So if you accidentally have to go get some ice in the middle of the night, you're out about $20. No, man,
No,
this
that's
shit's
when I
just
would just use a
crazy, dude, and
stopper.
it's just not all adding up. It's just none of it's making sense. What's going on nowadays, and all like multiple shootings just managed to happen, like right as they were trying on guns. So,
Well, I mean, you got to think. They said that the hotel was at least 300 yards away from where the concert was. Yeah, it had a direct view, but I mean, still 300 yards away. And they said he used an AR-15 with a bump stock. First of all, how the fuck can you sustain 10 solid minutes of nonstop fire through an
between 10
AR-15?
and 15. Between 10 and 15, sir.
Yeah, like that's not even possible with an AR-15. Plus, 10 minutes of gunfire through pretty much any civilian legal firearms is going
With
to
no
cause a
ear
barrel meltdown.
protection.
Do what?
Yeah. Well, also, you got to think, like, from everything we supposedly seen, had no kind of ear protection, so his fucking eardrums would have been blown out, which would have really
Oh,
thrown
yeah.
off, like, like, the minute you, like, lose your hearing, you get like, a severe sense of vertigo. Like, there would have been no way he could have focused his fire well enough, because he would have been all kinds of fucking, like, just unable to focus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that would have been like he would have tortured himself trying to do this. Not to mention the fact he was a horribly out of shape in very poor health 64-year-old that was under assisted living. But, he's just able to carry 400 pounds of ammunition and 23 firearms up to the 32nd floor.
Well, don't you know old people are fucking gangster, dude? Like, old people are just fucking gangster. They can, like, when they want you dead, they're gonna make sure you're fucking dead. That's apparently how it goes down. Like, when old people lose their shit, apparently what we can take from this is that we need to get rid of a lot of old people and do it pretty fucking fast. Because if we don't,
Oh yeah.
those old people are gonna rise up against us, and bed and breakfast will no longer suit their needs.
Bed and breakfast becomes.
The fluoride in the water has turned them into mindless zombies that are going to go on like mass shooting sprees and kill people over ISIS.
Oh, yeah. Another thing. The windows that he supposedly busted out were hurricane proof windows.
Well, he supposedly shot them out, I guess, would have to be the way that went down. Like, it's like, I would assume you just start, shooting through the window. Like, I don't know why you would take the time to, like, go and take the butt of your gun and just start smacking it against the... Maybe that's why he finally started shooting. Maybe he tried to break the window. He was originally intending to, like, jump out or something. He couldn't get it, and he had one of them old people panic attacks, and he was like, fuck! And then he just started shooting.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
you guys have seen old people when they get fucking angry, man. Like the old senile motherfuckers. Like I wouldn't put it past one to like go on a mass shooting spree because he couldn't break out a window.
Oh yeah, I mean, when they get pissed off, they raise all kinds of hell. But I just don't see this 64-year-old
Dementia, man.
meat popsicle fucking.
I don't see it either, but we have to go with the mainstream narrative because if we don't, we'll somehow be like racist or Islamophobic, or we'll just be like crazy nut jobs at some point. That's
Oh
I
yeah.
usually
think
how it works.
Islamophobia is welcomed here, seeing as how he apparently converted to Islam, like 2 months before the shooting, and like fucking joined ISIS and Antifa.
That kind of seems, what's the word for it? Convenient, to say the least.
Right?
It seems awfully convenient, and especially an old redneck. Like that's just the part that strikes the fuck out of me. Like the town that this guy is from is like this podunk ass town in like fucking Nevada, and like it's all about like some fucking like we like to hunt coons kind of shit. And he joined ISIS. Trips me out, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he just wakes up one morning, he's like, y'all know what? Fuck America, I'm hail Allah. Because that's how it always happens, right?
Yeah, especially in like you know a country that's like no matter where you go, it seems to be predominantly Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old ass white folks that were more than likely raised Christian. Because if he's a country bumpkin, he believes in him some
He was
Jesus.
he was raised Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, he's all about some Jesus. Then that's just how country bumpkins are. Like, no offense to them, they're just all about some Jesus. Like they got put in the church from pretty much the day they were born till the day they die. That's the country
Yeah.
way. Huh. Like, no, I'm not dissing on their faith or whatnot, but like, I will say,
Of
like,
course.
I don't think praying helped anybody out that day. That's a thing that fucks with me too. Like, we're supposed to have like this caring God up there, like watching over all these people and shit, but like this stuff happens on like a fucking seems like almost a weekly basis now. Like,
Oh yeah.
where
I
the
don't know, it's
fuck
been a
is
while
God
since
in
we've
this
had a
whole
shooting like
process?
this.
Not well in America, yeah, but like, dude, that's just it. It's finally all coming to America. That's what I've been saying for a long time. Like what we saw going on around the rest of the world, that stupid ass, like, it's like insanity fucking spreads. And thanks to mass media, we kept seeing it here in America. And I said it was going to be a matter of time before, shit started popping off here. And,
And
Yeah.
it finally did.
like, and it's not just the shooting like aspect of it, man. Like just lately, look at our country. Look at the shit that's been going on since pretty much like last year. Just fuck, man. This whole situation that our country's in is just backwards, man. Everything's fucked
I
up.
mean, my thing is, if people don't start getting the fuck over shit and coming together instead of pulling apart, like
Well,
I
see,
told
the
Brandon the other
thing.
day, we're gonna have war on our own fucking turf, and it's gonna be against everyone.
Yeah, and not only that, but we've
Oh yeah.
also got to take into account there's an aspect like we're still like now, like Alex Jones is telling people that Antifa said they're going to start their shit in October. Like I was under the assumption that they were starting November 4th, you know?
The official Antifa page said November 4th.
So, as far as it goes, nonetheless, like they did say they were going to start their shit, but maybe this will embolden them. Maybe that's why, I happen to think that maybe some of this like ISIS and Antifa literature was thrown in there purposely and shown for a reason to embolden the Antifa here to go ahead and start their attacks and maybe to embolden the ISIS members that have, we know they're here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like maybe this was a sign to them that, all right, it's getting to that time. Y'all need to get ready. This was more or less, maybe this guy was like programmed by the deep state to do this, but this was basically, a signal to everyone else, like, get ready.
Yeah.
Now's when we're striking, you know? I mean, what do you think, Brandon?
I don't think that was to put out a signal to tell Antifa to go,
I'm not saying just
but
Antifa, man. I'm saying there's a lot of factions that are setting poised to bring America down. I mean, this would play into the perfectly into their plans, whether it be like by civil war or they managed to scare the people enough. They've got their ways to create the chaos to bring the UN in. You know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this was a signal to those groups to, all right, now's y'all's time. Y'all, we're paying y'all to strike. So start
hey,
getting prepared.
what about that reporter that said we thought this was going to happen on New Year's?
Yeah, that was weird.
And then like he goes back and completely recants his statement and just makes up some bullshit about how like I can't even remember what all he said, but like he's like you can just hear him. He's interviewing somebody and he's just like, we thought this was going to happen on New Year's. And then after that, he's like, so what are your thoughts on it? Because I mean, if something's like this is going to happen, you'd think it'd be something bigger than this on like a holiday or something. He tries to go back and say that's just his thoughts, but at the very first thing he says is we thought this was going to be on New Year's, not my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some weird shit. It's kind of telling. But that's what I'm saying, dude. That's why I think this would. But maybe they're having to up the game. Maybe they're having to push the agenda forward. That's what this was. It was a signal, basically. Like it even caught the media had already had their narrative written up for New Year's, but now the powers are saying, "Hey, nope, we're amping it up," and they're catching everybody off guard. I mean, because think about it, the media, these normal people, they're nothing but puppets to these guys. So they may have told them so that they thought they would be prepared and be safe from it all. They're like, okay, it's going to start on this day. And then fucking all of a sudden they pop it off when these people are just as vulnerable to get caught up in the mix as everyone else. But they have been promised, from the get go, oh, we're going to spare you and your families from what we got just work for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then it's just like, wait, shit, what's going on?
Yeah, then all of a sudden you're getting caught up in the shootings and the chaos, and you're getting caught up in the camps going, the trains going to the FEMA camps, and you're like, wait, we were supposed to be like, we worked for y'all, and they're just like, we don't know who the fuck you are. Get in line. I mean, you gotta realize we're dealing with some people that are masterminds, and they may.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying that this is like a false flag is in like fucking people didn't get hurt, that kind of shit, crisis actor kind of false flag. I'm saying that there was a reason this happened and somebody made it happen for a specific design purpose and it fits into the puzzle somehow. I mean, we've been looking at for the past 5 years, me and you have been going over like and looking at the like all these pieces of a puzzle that were starting to come together as far as the future of America, and it started with like in our eyes, it all started with 9/11, but Bundy Ranch was a big kickoff for us. And then further on down the line, all these different events and all these different things happening are all playing out. They're all pieces of a big fucking puzzle that leads to the end of America.
oh yeah, absolutely. And at this point, there's no way to deny that it's all done by design.
And that's like
It's
really fucked up on its own that we can't, as much as we want to believe that this is, just like fucked up shit happens and there's no way that this is what we think it is. Like, we can't even deny it. I mean,
absolutely not. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
yeah, I mean, fucking, I wish I could say this is crisis acting and, I wish I could say that this was some kind of, I don't know, you know.
Brittany just informed me that her phone's dying, so she's gonna have to jump out for the rest of the episode. But hey, I'm glad she
Okay.
got to join this time.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, and we kind of we really appreciate like getting some dialogue from you, letting the viewers hear you for the first time. So we're
No
gonna
problem.
we're gonna let you come up with some articles that you might want to go over in the next couple of days. But yeah, we'll see you next time you want to come in.
Okay, it sounds good. Thank you guys, and sorry I gotta get off.
It's all good.
Okay, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
All right, later.
Okay, bye.
But yeah, so as far as this whole thing goes, man, like just shit's not adding up. People are, you know, starting to hit that panic mode.
Pretty much, they're causing a lot of unrest so they can do what they want to under the radar, and nobody's really going to pay attention because they're distracted by all this NFL bullshit and the mass shooting and the hurricanes and all that. While we're being distracted by that, they're doing all kinds of shit under the radar, and it's not being brought to attention because they're keep
Hegelian dialectic, man. Problem, action, solution, and never let a good tragedy go to waste, or whatever
exactly.
those little mantras that these elites have been living by. That I mean, if you have an open mind, you can actually see the patterns and how they run their shit. You can see the implementations of their plans. You can see the chaos and that you can also see how no matter how many crocodile tears these politicians cry up there on stage, they have no problem fucking making sure that that this is a reason you have to get rid of guns, or you have to take away the rights of these people now, or you have to increase the police state this much because of this that happened. You know?
Exactly. I mean, like I
And it's
said,
fucking sad
it's
that people can't catch on to what's going on, and they can't see the reality of, you know, the fact they're being played by not only the media, but their politicians themselves. We're all being sold out. I mean, think about it. If America was truly like this police state that, I mean, they're trying to implement it, but if it was as bad as everyone says it is, as far as these people on the left screaming about how the police are oppressing people, how the fuck did this even happen? Oh, it's because he's a white guy. Um, Go look at FBI statistics. The police kill more white people every year than they do black people, and that's fucking proven statistics. Because white people tend to be on meth more, and they run from cops, and they tend to we don't like
like,
being
according to the regressive
right.
left, it doesn't matter about the white people because white people are the majority and we outnumber black people. So it's more devastating when a black person gets killed by the police, whether they're armed or not, whether they
But then
pose an
explain
actual
the
threat or not.
statistics that say that black people, cause most of the crime by FBI statistics,
That is true.
in the areas that they inhabit. When you add up statistically nationwide the amounts of crimes that happen, it's almost like the black culture has adopted a criminal mentality because they've been programmed that way. I mean, think about it. And I've always said, I don't blame anyone that's like, yes, I blame them for their own actions, but I can't blame them for the way they've been programmed. They were like, our system intentionally destroyed their families. Our system intentionally set them up to fail. We introduced them to gangs. We created the gang mentality for them. We gave them drugs so that they could peddle them on the streets. We
Exactly.
created,
And I mean, the CIA has
and
openly admitted that they pay rappers to keep the drug references and the glorification of the gang and drug dealer's life in the music because it's been
well, I was
proven
just
that
about to
black
say
people are more
they
susceptible to.
made hip hop become some like at one point, like with rappers like Tupac and certain rappers like that, there was you know a message behind what they were preaching. They were trying to get the kids out of the hood, and they were trying to get them away from that life. And
Yeah.
notice those guys
And
ended up dead, but the people you end up with on the radio or and the mainstream are all these people like Lil Wayne and You know, it's just fucking terrifying that people can't see what's happening to them, but it's so obvious, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, all you have to do is just look up any rap song, and you can hear it. They're being told to do this stuff.
Then, like I said, it's not, and like the problem is too, is like a lot of people think that because we say this kind of stuff like that automatically makes us racist. It's like, no, I'm making an observation based off of what I've seen from living in areas. It's not like I'm some country fucking bumpkin motherfucker that's like never seen a black person except on TV a day in my life. Like, I fucking live in one of the, like, I think there was this article that came up the other day, and I think Memphis is either number one or number three in like the cities across in the entire country that have like the highest black population, and like, but they're like we have like the lowest like poverty rate for the black people or whatever. Like, basically, we've got so many people here, but like, there's X amount that are refusing to work, that don't work, that, there's crimes and robberies and just the typical ghetto shit. Like, for how many years has Memphis been number one in murder? Like we were talking about the other day, like, there's a fucking 25 people here a day at least get shot, you know?
Well, I mean, Chicago and New Orleans top that. They're the two most dangerous. I mean, well, no, Newark, New Jersey is the most dangerous city in the United States. But like as far as violent crime goes, Chicago tops them all, and then New Orleans is in second. As far as homicides and armed robberies.
Well, for many, many years, Memphis was the leader in that list.
Oh yeah, it was.
And, that's where I grew up, and that's where I'm living now, and we're still at the top of the list. We didn't like graduate down to the bottom. We just dropped like one or two ranks because, I mean, they don't have stringent gun laws here yet. Once this becomes like the rest of the democratically owned cities, and they put the stringent gun laws in, all of a sudden the people that can protect themselves won't be able to anymore, and all of a sudden you'll see the number of homicides triple. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, it will. I mean, you can't disarm criminals by disarming good people.
You can't disarm criminals with laws, because I mean, I kind of think that's like what the word, criminal, and like kind of like when you call somebody a criminal and they're committing criminal actions, you can pretty much just assume they don't care about the fucking law to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, if it'll work so well with firearms, why does it not work so well with heroin and crack?
Why didn't it stop me from smoking weed?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you may not be able to walk into Walmart and buy a shotgun anymore, but there's always going to be a black market.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay.
For the first time since the yellow fever epidemic, Memphis population is in decline because of white flight to northern Mississippi, which is now the fastest growing part of the country. The entire country is northern Mississippi. Mississippi, because of the white flight there, is now not the poorest state in the United States. Arkansas now is. The population percentage in Memphis of black was 64% last year. Because of white flight, every year that percentage goes up just a tiny bit.
Well, shit.
Last year it was at 64%.
So pretty much the white people are trying to escape the crime and move to safer areas.
Well, they're scared for their lives. I mean, it's not just the crime aspect. It's more or less when, like, you get threatened on a daily basis because you're a white guy and you never know if you're going to get shot just for walking down, like, You know, like my friend here, I have a friend here that got shot in the stomach. Just he walked home from work one night and he works at a grocery store and he just was minding his own business and the dude fucking walked up and shot him in the stomach over some change. So, I mean, that's the reality of, and that's inner city life though. That's what happens when you get these big fucking 2 million, 3 million people in a small area, you know, and you allow crime to basically gain a foothold. I mean, they allowed the gangs to prosper. They've allowed these things to happen. Have they've allowed thing these people to go like most thugs have a mentality of they don't have to work for their money because they can just get it grinding. They can get it by robbing a motherfucker that did go to work, you know?
Right.
And it sucks. I hate the fact that that's part of our society, but it is. And the rest of the world doesn't even really know about that shit other than the like Netflix fucking crime documentaries on or Gangland. But they don't even tell you half the fucking like real shit that goes on.
No, they just barely scratched the surface.
I mean, like our entire country's like just falling the fuck apart, and all people care about nowadays is like which football player's taking a kneel today, or you know, fucking all white people deserve a shooting like this in Las Vegas. That's fucking pathetic, man.
Completely. Nobody
I mean,
deserves to go through that.
like I've never once said that you know an unarmed black man deserved to get shot by the police. That's
No. But we have this leftist mentality of if you're white, you're automatically racist because you're the majority.
But that's just the thing. Like, if you kind of take in all the other races that have been allowed to come into this country, you know, since the inception of it, and over the years, we've allowed many, many, many different cultures to come in. White people necessarily aren't the majority. There's certain towns that, yes, they are still all white or mostly white, you know, but that's just like, those are really small towns. You know, it's not like they lynch everybody that comes through there that's not white. If they did, those towns wouldn't exist anymore because the rest of the country would be like, hey, fuck y'all.
Pretty much. You know, racism was damn near dead until
It's just
Obama
people
came into
like the thing
office.
that people aren't taking into account about those small towns is usually those small towns are way out in the fucking middle of nowhere. And
Pretty much, yeah.
you don't find too many people that are willing to move anywhere outside of a big city where everything's convenient and right there for them. They don't want to have to drive 45 minutes to get to the nearest store, you know?
You know, the thing is, though, is we've got these people running around screaming racism at every turn or screaming homophobia or transphobia and all this. And you know they're claiming to be fighting against all this stuff, but in all reality all they're doing is breeding problems, and a lot of them see it and just don't care, and then the rest of them actually think they're doing something good.
Yeah.
And you know all they're doing is breeding problems, because if you say something long enough, even if it's not true, if you say it long enough and you keep preaching it, it eventually becomes true.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you keep telling, it's like you can't tell white people they're racist that aren't racist and beat them down for not being racist while claiming they are for so long, and eventually they'll become racist. It's what happened to me as a
Hey,
kid. I just managed to break away from it all and let go of all that, you know, needless hatred. And I just started to hate everybody instead of like picking and choosing my battles, like against certain colors of skin or stupid shit like that. Now I just kind of hate everybody in general.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same with me. You know, I have a few people that I like, you know, obviously Brittany, because, I mean, you know, and then, you know, you, and then, like, the two people at work that I actually like, and that, you know, I mean, that's basically about it.
You better tell your boss that you like him real quick. You might end up without a job. He's like, we're tuning in the show. Hey, when's he gonna give me my props? Fuck him, fat fuck. He's fired.
Hey, it's like, hey, that motherfucker works with me, and he just said he don't like me.
That fucking fat cocksucker.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Oh man. But I mean, I don't even know what to say other than people need to start thinking objectively about these situations and, like, you know, kind of, I guess, learn to see when you're just blatantly being bullshitted.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you can't really hold it against the people that's doing this because they're being programmed without realizing it.
Yeah, because now everybody's like, we've got to get rid of guns. Guns are the devil, by God. They just get up of their own accord and murder people. They possess
Right.
people to do it. Just like one day you picked up a spoon and it just possessed you and was like, you need to be fat. And it forced you to eat. And you tried, you begged, and you screamed, and you was like, I don't want to eat no more. I can't do it. And the spoon was like, nah, nah, you gonna eat. You know? It's basically the same kind of situation, or somebody's like, you know, I didn't, I didn't need to start drinking, but the drink, it possessed me. I touched the beer and it did it. It used me as its bitch. Stop blaming the tools and fucking blame the people and their willpower. It's not the gun's fault that guy killed people. It's that guy's fault. If he didn't have guns, he would have found another way. There's plenty of things you can use to kill people. He probably would have used a truck or something, or a plane. That seems to be the trend.
Yeah.
But nope, it's just another narrative for them to go after guns, claim that all gun owners are devils, and they, enjoyed that this happened to those people because, we're all devils. I don't even own a gun, and I'm still a devil somehow. I'm like, bitch, the only reason I don't have a gun is because I like to smoke weed. And apparently the government's like, you don't need a gun if you smoke weed. Might get high and go on a mass killing spree because, marijuana is like PCP. Just as bad, actually.
Oh yeah, marijuana is totally as bad as angel dust.
According to the FBI, it is.
You know, because once you start tripping balls on marijuana, you gain superhuman strength and can, headbang through a brick wall. That's definitely how that shit works.
And your penis gets irreparably hard, and you go around raping anything that moves because you become possessed by that evil devil lettuce.
Devil lettuce.
That's what the old people used to call it. That was. That's what my grandma always said. I remember one day I took a bunch of Benadryl because I was sick as fuck, but she thought I was high, and she was like, "Are you smoking that devil's lettuce? Tell me you didn't touch the devil's lettuce." And I was like, "I don't even know what the fuck that is. Is that a vegetable? I didn't touch no vegetables, I promise."
That does kind of sound like a vegetable that I really want to try.
I wouldn't. It sounds like it'd probably make your asshole burn on the way out or something. Like if you get something called like a devil's pepper or something, usually you end up like shitting blood for the next 2 weeks.
Oh my god. I mean, I kind of do that anyway because I have severe gastrointestinal problems.
The spoon's fault. Or KFC. Do they even have KFC where you are? Or, like you so far,
God,
like
yeah.
okay. I don't know. I figured they'd like have some like like redneck like alternative that's like KFC but
You
with
know,
squirrels.
I will call out KFC on their racism because every KFC around me is somewhere in a ghetto.
Yeah, like Popeyes and churches.
I don't know. I don't think we have a church's chicken around here.
I'll just wait.
If we do, I've never seen it.
Oh, there's all kinds of chicken places around here. I'm like, damn, that seems racist to me for some reason. Like every other block, you got a chicken or barbecue of some sort, and you're like, the fuck. Well, that's funny. This city is like predominantly black, but like you can tell there were some old ass racist white folk in this town at one point in time. Like you'd be surprised, like at some point when they started industrializing this town, they just didn't put like a watermelon vendor on every fucking street corner. Like there's some definite like you can see some subliminal racism in the way this shit was set up. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm not meaning to laugh at that, but you gotta admit that shit is funny.
Well, yeah, because I mean these are supposedly like racial stereotypes, and yet like your city's founders and your mayors and shit are the ones that are like, I want 1,000 chicken joints in this neighborhood. I want at least 15,000 Baptist churches in this city. We've got to have as many racial stereotypes as we can possibly get. Make sure we find some Asians that can't drive.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
Out of the majority of the Asians I've met, they were all actually really good drivers.
I'll just go to a big enough city. You'll find those few stereotypes. We have to have them. The government made it so. So I didn't even put the motherfuckers through driver's ed. They were just like, here's a piece of plastic. Now go out there and get to it.
But yeah, I mean the whole divide and conquer thing is rolling
I
pretty
don't know.
hard
Do
right
I
now.
turn left? I don't know when to turn left. I turn left now. I turn left.
You want to solve the problem with Kim Jong Un? Just bring him to the United States and give him a car.
Put him on a NASCAR truck and then tell him to make a right turn.
Naughty not.
I wonder if he watches NASCAR. I mean, I know he likes our basketball and shit. It'd be crazy if we found out he was like a fucking Dale Earnhardt fan.
Oh dear God.
Then I turn around and blame the rednecks for North Korea's oppression. All right, see, it's all you motherfuckers' faults with your NASCAR. Y'all did this to them.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. hadn't won a race in like 4 years, so Kim Jong-un's pissed off about it.
That's where all these missiles are.
I hope to God that's not true. Like, I hope to God he's really not a NASCAR fan because Talladega Superspeedway is not far from my house.
I was going to say, don't tell me you're a NASCAR fan.
I used to be.
I don't know how you could be.
I hadn't watched NASCAR in a while. Like, once Jeff Gordon retired, I just kind of got out of it.
I never got into it. I tried to watch it once, and I was like, these guys are doing nothing but driving in circles, and this is fucking stupid. The only time I thought it was cool was when I saw, like, this big, like, 15-car pileup, and I was like, now that is entertainment.
That's why most people watch NASCAR.
And then my friend was, like, all pissed off at me. It was like, dude, people could have died. And I was like, again, entertainment. They're paid to entertain me.
When's the last time somebody died playing basketball? That shit sucks.
Well, see, like, that's just the thing. I understand things that these are Roman gladiatorial events. That's why there is like, if you want to make it to the top to an extent, you do have to survive. I mean, basketball players have, like, injuries that end up taking them out. They'll die of early ages from, like, heart problems, from the stress of being on the road. Then you have, like, the things like football and rugby and fucking NASCAR.
Rugby is a fucked up sport.
Hockey. Hell, your bitch ass could die ice skating. You fall the right way and your old foot just happens to break the right way. You can fucking sling around, slit your throat with your own foot. Ah, sucks to be you.
Puncture your jugular with your shin bone.
I mean, yeah, pretty much every sport out there, there's a way for people to get massively, like, injured. Or even in golf, you can fucking take a motherfucker out playing golf. Forget to yell for and you peg somebody in the head, it's over.
I would love to see that.
I've always just wanted to go out there and start yelling random numbers and see what happens. Just everyone's always yelling 4. I want to be like 6, 2 3/4, 1 1 1 1 1 1.
1100101.
Yeah, exactly. Just start speaking in binary.
Oh yeah, speaking of the binary shit, this
I
whole
knew you were
gender
about to touch on the
craze.
D-Wave shit. I knew it. The minute you mentioned bi, because I was about to go there. See, that's some of that what a synchronicity we got going on, dude. Because like you said, we said binary, and then I was just like, speaking of binary, let's talk about D-Wave.
Yeah. So if someone claims to be non-binary, does that mean they're a number 2?
No. Means they're a 0.
No, because that's binary. 0 and 1 is
No,
binary.
they're just
They
a
don't have to be
0.
2 or up.
They're a 0. They're a negative 0.
Like the only way I could see somebody being non-gender binary would be like is if a dude has 2 dicks or some chick has 2 vaginas.
If I made a dude with 2 dicks, I don't know, man. I'm gonna assume I'm in Japan.
Why Japan? Because of Hiroshima?
Hiroshima, Fukushima, Nagasaki. They've got a lot of radiation, dude. There's got to be someone walking around with 2 dicks at this point.
2 dicks, 3 tits, 4 assholes.
conversation. I'll leave and y'all go to fucking penises and assholes.
Exactly.
Out of curiosity.
It's just that part of the show where we start going off on random shit.
Yep. Can't really say anything much else on the shootings until more comes out, and that's going to be a while. I have a gut feeling we're not going to know much about what really is going on with that for quite a
Yeah, that's
while.
something that's kind of bothered me. Like, this is actually starting to die out really quick.
Well, it's because white people deserve to die, bro. Didn't you hear? You ain't heard the news?
Yeah, I know. White people are racist, so they deserve to die. If you're white, you're automatically racist. You know how that
It
goes.
doesn't even matter if you're racist. It has nothing to do with you being racist at this point. They're just like, you know what? You're white. You deserve to die. I mean, I guess I can't quite, like, I might do humanity a favor if I were to die. We haven't quite, like, ironed out the issues in my head yet to figure
Yeah,
out if that's, it might be it
because
could
white
benefit
privilege is the
society. Because I'm kind of psychotic, but and that is kind of a white trait. Like, I don't know too many white people that aren't fucking just out there. We always tend to go to the extremes. I'll put it that way. Like,
that
that
is
does seem to
true.
be that is a white people. Like, we either go extreme fucking left or we go like extreme like fucking right, or we go extreme like into this or that. Like, I'm pretty extreme on my beliefs. Like, I don't like to be challenged on them, and I don't like to bow down to anybody. Like, it's weird, man. Oh, did you see that? Did you watch that video I sent you yesterday from that weird guy with the fucking weird
Yes, I
face
did.
and shit?
That was that was really odd. I'm not really sure what to make of that.
That video's kind of cool, but then, like, if you look at this dude's other shit, dude, this guy's fucking ridiculous. He all like, we live in a mathematical energy that's absolute mathematical frequency, and I'm like, do you have some math to back that up? Can you show me some math? I would like to see the math that you're referring to. And he's like, mathematical, undisputed frequencies. And I'm like,
2 plus 2 equals
can I
quantum
see?
4.
We will teach you all of these things and give you the secrets, mathematical universal frequencies, but you're never going to get to see the math to prove the mathematical frequency that we live in. And I was like, hold up, dude. I want to see the math. If you're going to claim some outlandish shit like this, I
Y'all
totally
could
can
never back
believe
that
that,
shit
like,
up.
I totally believe that, there's an equal, like, there's two equals that we have here in options. Like, we can either die and nothing fucking happens, and our consciousness, like, just goes back into the universal energy, or we die and there's something after we die. And what the fuck that is, no one really knows. You could try asking a ghost, but most of the time it seems that they lie. They lie through their teeth. They don't really know. You want to know how they don't really know? Because if you're talking to a ghost, that means his bitch ass is still here. Or her. Well, okay, let's not assume the gender of the ghost. That'll get us in trouble nowadays. It's an it ghost.
We'll just call it Z.
It's a Zer.
I've never actually understood that, the whole Z and Zer thing. Wouldn't that still imply some kind of gender?
I don't fucking
Like,
know.
wouldn't that still be masculine and feminine?
I'll just call them cunts. If I call everybody cunts, then, like, nobody can get on to me. No, you're being sexist. No, I refer to everybody as cunt. It's not, I don't.
Hillary Clinton's
Watch.
a
And
cunt.
then I'll
George
walk up
W.
to some
Bush is a
random guy and
cunt.
be like, hey, what's up, cunt? And they're like, the fuck, man? And I'm like, dude, watch. And I'll walk back over to some random chick and go, hey, what's up, cunt? Like,
And then you
fucking,
get pepper sprayed, and it's all good.
oh, dude, like, at some point, like, if I have female friends that I'm really cool with, like, that's exactly how I'll respond to them. Like, if I really, like, we're on a cool level, like, when the minute they said they messaged me, I'm just like, hey, what's up, cunt? I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, I don't fucking care. If you're offended by words, then you're too weak to be in my life, and I don't want you around me because words can't hurt you, but physical things like bullets and fists can.
But yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to just go ahead and kill it. It's been a pretty good episode. We went over some really good shit. By the way,
We
we
really,
haven't really watched
we'll
it
talk
besides
more
again.
about this shooter when more comes out. I mean, there's still like information coming out on his wife now, and like apparently she started. They talking to her now, so it's just I don't know. There's still so much that we don't know. There's still so many unanswered questions. It all stinks of like horse shit. Like at least
Oh
the
yeah, I
narrative
can
does.
imagine.
The narrative doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. So I mean, until we know more, I'm sticking with there was more than one shooter for sure, and that I don't even necessarily believe it's the guy that we're seeing pictures of. I think I don't know, it just something doesn't smell right about this whole thing, and people can
I mean,
call me whatever the fuck you want, but I'm calling it as I see it, and I'm not trying to like in no way am I saying that I don't feel bad for the people that died, got injured, and all the people that were traumatized from like man, there's probably a bunch of kids that were at that show that like watched people fucking dropping like flies all around them and screaming and panicking. And how many kids got like just fucking trampled on because the adults didn't give a fuck?
oh
You
yeah,
know?
definitely. You know,
I mean,
like the main narrative of it though is, they're pretty much saying the color 3 shot up Las Vegas and a bunch of blues died.
do what now?
The mainstream narrative of it is pretty much the color 3 shot up Las Vegas and a bunch of the number blue died.
Oh yeah, like
That's about how much sense everything they're saying makes right now.
this news story has been brought to you by the number J and the letter 3.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's literally about how much sense all this bullshit makes. That
yeah.
that's how it's coming together.
And it's like I said, I feel bad for like the main part that pisses me off about the fact that this just doesn't all make sense is because that means the truth about like who killed these people and why they were killed. Like that's what I want to know. Why? I mean, oh, he joined
I mean,
ISIS. Oh, fucking no, rednecks don't join ISIS. Come up with a better excuse.
you can't tell me this fucking 64-year-old fucking meat sack just decides to load up, 23 firearms and well over 400 pounds of ammunition and bring it through hotel security without causing any kind of alarm. And then he disables all the fire alarms uh, in the hotel without anybody noticing.
Wait, disabled the fire alarms?
Yeah, yeah, he
Okay.
disabled every fire alarm in the building.
How the fuck did he manage to do that?
I mean, it's completely unrelated. What's the purpose of getting rid of the fire alarms?
You know what? I go back to my original theory yesterday. This guy's some sort of like fucking magic ninja.
Like, overnight super soldier.
This is just a fucking ninja with like, you know, probably has like Harry Potter's invisibility cloak and fucking
Goku super strength.
and it's fucking, it's that white power within him, dude. That fucking racial white hatred that just that 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 white privilege, man. That gave him
So he's
all,
basically super.
like fucking super honky over here. I don't fucking get it, dude. It just doesn't make sense. I mean,
None
like,
of it does.
I just, and like, oh, that was an AR-15. Yeah, totally. Let's go
Yeah,
with
I'll
that.
totally believe that an AR-15 can hold up to 10 minutes of sustained fire without going into complete meltdown.
Yeah, and this dude totally had a bump stock. That's how he made it sound like it was fully automatic when it wasn't. And he still
Yeah,
managed to fire it just like it was a fully automatic.
yeah, because he put a bump stock on it.
Totally. Makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, loads.
Only thing, yeah, and the only thing they forgot to mention is they put that bump stock on a double barrel 12 gauge. That's what really did all the damage. The fully automatic super death
From
ray
300
gun.
plus yards away.
Yeah, it was a super death ray gun.
It was like Kevin DeLeon's ghost gun, c- capable of firing 30 caliber magazine clips a second.
It was like that fucking needle gun in Halo.
Oh god, I hated that gun.
I hate Halo in general.
I do too. Like the first one was good, and then they came out with two, and it was semi okay-ish, and then Halo 3 just absolutely sucked.
Bunch of little like fucking hoe ass kids running around with a fucking little crystal sword or some shit, and they just run up behind you and like fucking stab you in the back and then teabag you for the next 15 minutes.
Pretty much. But yeah, I say we go ahead and kill it right here. We've been going for an hour and a half, and we've pretty much covered everything we've got right now. I'm gonna do some more research. We're probably gonna be on this shooting for a few days just because of all the bullshit surrounding it.
Yeah, and the fact that shit keeps coming out every day.
Yeah, so we'll keep everything updated. We'll keep doing our research on it.
All right, well,
You
thanks
know,
for tuning in. Keep it real, keep it metal, and we'll be back either tomorrow or within the next day or two with another episode. That, you know, if nothing's come out about the shooter, then we may go into some of the other topics that we had intended to go into before we, you know, had a national tragedy happen and fucking got this magical fairy tale of a narrative we have.
exactly. Yeah, like I said, the number or the color 3 shot up Las Vegas, and a bunch of the number blue died.
Totally. All right, y'all.
Because
Well, we enjoyed, you know, y'all tuning in. We don't enjoy talking about this kind of shit, but we, you know, we enjoy being able to like discuss outside this little weird tight box that the mainstream's forcing everybody's thought process into. Like, you know, let's see just how fucking retarded we can make people today.
exactly.
But yeah, we'll catch y'all in the next few days. Keep it real. Watch your back. Apparently, it's a dangerous world.